So this is our final interview of this beautiful day, this amazing day where we're celebrating the wisdom of love, legends, and legacies. And what an honor to be able to close the day out with you three beautiful women.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just really to talk about the depth and the richness of participating in a book of this nature and what you hope to see to come about from it. We'll start with you, Vivian. What was the name of your chapter?
Thank you, Becky. The name of my chapter is called The Legends of Lemuria and Atlantis, Root Races. And I chose to talk about two very important, influential, and historical timeline on the Earth history because of where we are heading to today, in this conscious evolution, awakening, spiritual growth. More and more people are really listening to their own intuition. They're rediscovering their point of origin. They're rediscovering, who they are. And I felt that Lemuria and Atlantis have left such a great impact and still resonate today in the souls of so many. And I see that and I hear that a lot in my healing quantum practice. So when the volume number 2, which I'm to be a part of, came about, the legends, the love, the legacies, I feel like we're going to talk about soul legacies and also history legacies and how it still today carry us through to rediscover the potential of who we are as human beings, as cosmic beings, as divine being of light. And I felt very inspired this time around to go and really much like an historian going back in time and extract the golden age or the golden energy of these two very important civilizations. And that just an essence of what really inspired me. I want to say something really exciting because I'm going to be speaking at the Conscious Life Expo in February 2023. I'm a speaker there. I'm also offering a workshop. And I want to announce that I did enter our book in their contest. They have a book yes. So I did say that it's on behalf of all of us. This is not just my book, but it's a beautiful collective of amazing, inspired storytellers and amazing authors. I was very clear. Well, I'm simply the representative because I am officially a speaker and you have to be a speaker to submit a book. But I already submit our book, our beautiful golden legacy, wisdom of love and light and beyond. So finger crossed, everybody. Anything we win, I promise it will be shared with all of us. But it's the fact that we stay strong and we are being represented at the Conscious Life Expo next year.
Wow.
Wow.
I just got chills.
I did too. It was like, wow.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Well, this is
So
very
exciting.
welcome.
Thank you.
wow. That is
You're so very welcome because, it's truly a joy. And the fact that the deadline was exactly right before the official 11/11 launch. And I'm like,
Wow.
we're already out there, so let's do it.
No coincidences, ladies. No coincidences.
No, exactly. So thank you for saying that and allowing, all of us to be a part of it. And I wanted to share the good news today, especially during these rounds of interviews.
beautiful.
Well,
Thank you.
and Vivian has in our last book, in Wisdom of the Silver Sisters, was our first author who signed up. And in this book, she was our first author who signed up. So it's like it makes good sense that you're the first to submit us for an award. So lots of
Yes.
firsts.
Wow.
Lots of firsts.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We
love.
almost-
Thank you.
Well, between the two of you ladies, because Karen had some great news to share with us too. So between the two of you, we ought to be able to get this book out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Karen, your chapter, what was the name of your chapter? And why did you choose to be in this book?
Well,
I think it's a divine calling to be connected with amazing people like Sandy and Sharon and you, Becky,
Oh, thank
as
you.
well as the other authors that were in the previous book project, as you know, Wisdom of the Silver Sisters. My chapter is Angels Fly Forever, and it's about surviving grief. Um, Not to make light of grief, but here's the deal, guys. None of us are getting out of this alive. We're just not. We're not getting out of this alive. We all have our time here. At least this body of ours is not getting out of this alive. Our body will go. However, my belief is, and I've certainly been blessed to have affirmations of it, is that our soul goes on for eternity. And I obviously believe in angels. And some people have different definitions of angels. I have many earth angels in my life. Sandy Rogers and Sharon are certainly among those earth angels, as are you, Becky, and many of the Silver Sisters are as well. But we all have people that we're really bonded with and feel like they really come into our lives, maybe for a short time, maybe for a lifetime, but they're like angels that come in and out of our lives or stay with us, and they're truly blessings. And I also know for certainty, for me personally, that some of those angels are only here for a certain period of time. My soulmate and earth, bless you, and soulmate, my beloved John, was my Sicilian Marine cowboy, and he is my Sicilian Marine cowboy. I also have a father that just passed away October 14th, just a few weeks ago. And I can tell you that everything has a time and a place. And earth angels help me through my life here. And they also have helped me in dealing with some major challenges in my life. All of us have challenges. This is life school, right? And the message that I hope to impart in my chapter is that embrace those in our lives that are truly earth angels and recognize them for the gifts that they are. But don't think for a minute that those that are just here for a time and may pass away and transition aren't still with us. They are. I tell you with certainty that they are. And it's kind of like I told my dad when I was saying goodbye for now, is that it's really not goodbye. It's just different. We're going to connect and communicate in a different way, almost a more spiritual, meaningful, in-depth way more frequently once he passes, like I do with my John. I communicate with my John daily. My mother also passed away. So I lost my mother, my John, and my dad in a fairly short period of time. And I have no biological children, but I have fur babies. And I lost Latte, my Shih Tzu, and Angel, ironically enough, my all-white Shih Tzu. And I can tell you that they remain with me and with my current dogs, Buttons and Sprinkles. So angels do really fly forever. They communicate with us. The key, I think, that people don't sometimes know and realize is that we have a lot of help and guidance that we have access to. Some may call them guides, some may call them fairies, some may call them God. It could be all of the above, but here's the deal, just ask. Just ask for guiding grace, as we mentioned in our previous book. Ask for that inspiration and those promptings, and oftentimes we get them, especially at night when we dream They often come in that way, but it may come in little forms, and angels do really fly forever and communicate with us regularly. And we, like legends implies, we are the recipients of all those that have gone before us and paved the way for us to be able to do what we do. We're so blessed, you guys. We are so blessed, and we stand on the legacies of those that have gone before, and they're willing to help us. All we have to do is ask. So my chapter hopefully will give some ideas of ways to communicate with angels, and certainly appreciate those angels that we have with us today. I'm helping two of my earth angels. One is Greg Ziering, who the chapter was dedicated to. He's terminal and was supposed to pass by August. He's still with us, but he understands and knows this is just a stepping stone as well. He will be guided through, and we have angels, you guys. They're here to help us. So thank you, my angels, for being here.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Mhm.
We want to, Vivian, we want to honor your time because I know you have to leave briefly very soon, and you're free to go when you're ready. But just any really special thoughts that you want to, contribute to this conversation before you have to leave.
Oh, absolutely, Vicky. Again, the joy of coming back in volume 2. I remember distinctly the very first time when Sandy, hey, Sharon, it's good to see you, came up with the idea of the first book and the Silver Sister. I knew immediately in my heart that I had to be a part of it. And then coming back with the golden wisdom, I felt like I was going to take on a soul journey, and I felt the history, the energy of everyone coming together, bringing a golden ray of illumination and enlightenment. And we brought the golden silver, and we brought the silver ray in the first book, and we bring the golden ray. And I feel it put together as a magical series, very unique in many, many ways. We're combining the divine feminine with divine masculine together. And it feels absolutely like we're taking it to the next level. So when I was reflecting on what will I be contributing in the golden ray of the book and the golden legends and the legacies of what we want to leave behind that will still echo throughout time. And it's timeless, it's past, present, future, and a multidimensional level. And of course, as a galactic being myself, I'm thinking, let's come back into the sacred times, as I mentioned earlier, with Lemuria in Atlantis, to really inspire people who are still very attached to it or still have a lot of memories from it. There's a lot of souls who are still healing from the stigma, the wounds from Atlantis. And I see that a lot. And I feel like it's part of the next step, the inspiration we're taking on to feel like it's time to release the negative stories. It's time to get out of the narratives, and we are embracing a new era of consciousness that is part of the awakening, whether we are realizing that beyond the physical incarnation, we are internal divine being of light, we're multidimensional. There's different ways to communicate with loved ones, angels, guides, our intergalactic families. So when I open those timelines like an historian, briefly just extracting the best of the essence and the lessons also that both Lemuria and Atlantis have taught us and still teaching us today, I feel like what a fantastic way to bring those energies, thank you, into today's. And I know it's going to speak to so many people in their own uniqueness and their own journey, in their own unique blueprint. And that's what we want to honor and be an inspiration to says, remember what you've learned from it. Remember the strength, the lesson learned, the wisdom earned. It's time to move forward with all of this. And so I'm just excited to see this amazing book coming together above and beyond. And I know it's going to go far. So it's such a privilege. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I-
That was beautiful.
I just had an interesting thought listening to you speak, and so when we laid out the book, it was the last book and then this one as well. It was like, how do we do the chapters? What order do we put the chapters in? And we'd made a decision that the simplest, easiest thing was to just put them in alphabetical order by the first name of the author.
Mhm.
Vivian, of course, is the last chapter in the book, and she's the foundation. She's holding us up. I see her holding us up. And what you just described was exactly that. There are no accidents.
So true.
There are no
So
accidents.
so insightful, Sandy.
And here
Yes,
she is.
absolutely.
And here she
Yeah.
is on the last call of the
Yeah.
day.
The last call of the
The last
day.
call of the day. The first and the
Yeah.
last. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. Mm.
Oh, you're so very welcome, Sandy. That went straight to my heart center. I'm like, wow, no wonder I was inspired to write just a perfect, concise chapter without getting too long, without getting too short, just the essence, and to bring the energy of all the beautiful author like yourself, Karen, and the wisdom and the sharing, very much so. And it being like a V, like a container, like a sacred conduit, it says, okay, we have the sacred conduit when we are bringing together and holding the light. And it's true because Vivian being a V, I'm the last one in the alphabetical order. It was the same thing with the first book, the Silver Sister. And then in this one again, I love this.
Oh,
So Vivian,
beautiful.
look at how you held your hand up like that. If we all hold it up, what does that remind me of? Angel wings.
Aw.
Angel wings. I just got goosebumps, God bumps for me. So
Same.
trust
Beautiful.
that you certainly are an angel for all of us in this project.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well,
Mm.
in honor of your time, we don't want to go over your time, but I also want to take this opportunity because it is the last call of the day. And this is Sandy and Sharon are the inspiration behind it all. And I want to give them the honor that is due them and to really capture the essence of their wisdom and their foresight, their vision for all of this and bringing this together. And Sandy, for you, this has been quite a year. This has been, a huge year for you. How do you feel about, the authors you and the Sharon were able to attract to this book, and just today, knowing that this book is out in the world and serving in the way that it was and will have that ripple effect out. How are you feeling right now?
Many of our authors don't know the many challenges we've had with this book behind the scenes. Just a plethora of challenges. And every time we think we were ahead, something else would happen. Today made it all worth it. Listening to each of our just extraordinary authors show up and be here and hold space has made it all worthwhile. The energy collectively, many of these authors don't know each other, but they know each other. We know each other's soul, we know each other's hearts, and collectively we're making a difference. Collectively, this book is making a difference in the world already. Today's been an emotional day, it's been an emotional day. Good emotions. It's been a day of reflection. It's been a day of rejoicing. It's been a day of renewal. It's been a day of of learning something new about somebody, wonderful stories, and the power of story. And Sharon's the one who's the foundation for that.
We're in this
So
together,
thank you.
all of us, all of us. This is a collective togetherness, and together we're stronger, and our voice is so diverse that it goes forth and it blesses people in areas that their hearts resonate before they even can wrap words around it. They know, we feel that, and that story goes forth then and gives it clarity.
I just want to say really quickly that one of the things is through acceptance and through service. And Sandy and Sharon, and I know you as well, Vivian and Becky, but you're the epitome of serving without strings and showing acceptance and unconditional love. The blessings and the energy that align with that, miracles happen. Look, I see the fur baby.
There's 3 of them, and they're
And
hungry.
they just abound. And so expect miracles and blessings all the time. I'm not surprised, and I think there's more yet to come. So thank you
Beautiful.
for being the
Thank
you for being the instrument for that. You truly are angels among us. So thank you for that.
And thank you. And I think this is in order at this time. There's somebody in the house with a birthday, and it's time. Okay, let's go. Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday
to
you. Happy
birthday, sweet
dear
Sharon.
Happy birthday to you.
I love that. Thank you, thank you.
And happy new great grandma day to
I know,
Yes.
first great grandbaby. Thank you so much. It's been a day of miracles, and it has been, like Sandy said, emotional in the best sense of the word. My heart has just been full. This project has been absolutely, with all of your beautiful faces and finishing up the last call, and with Becky and with Karen and with Vivian. It is something that, like I say, the power of story, like Sandy said, but coming together and supporting one another, edifying one another, cheering on this process of, we're here to bring heaven to earth. And I believe we're doing that. I believe this is that opportunity that we're living in that. And there's such guiding grace within that. So those are the terminology. Those are the vocabulary, if you will, of our hearts. Today's been extremely special and the culmination, but it's also the beginning because we've birthed it. And so it's going out into the world like we talked about. And I know the blessings are absolutely of each author and how they, share this. But as that person, it feels like it's an oracle. And someone, as you know, will pick this up randomly. They'll read that chapter that was meant for them. And that's what's just so special, that message is waiting for them. And what it is divine understanding, unconditional love. And in this space of not only this power of story, but is the story not only that we tell ourselves, but how we do bridge that gap between the divine and then obviously the world that would be spinning out, the joy and the love that the story brings back together, and the hope and the faith of all of that project in terms of pure love.
Our light shines bright.
Incredible.
My sister, our light shines bright.
Yes.
Oh, very much so. And I'm extremely grateful and filled with love for all 3 of you. What a powerful trio you make, Sandy, Sharon, and Becky. I mean, you've been carrying us through, and even when the format of the chapter was not completely right, it's okay, I have you. Here, I formulated that for you. There was a little line missing. It's okay, I have it
It's
for you.
right.
And then all the
Thank you.
details, the foundational energy that you're providing for all of us and the world, because those books are there and there's no more time stamp to them. There will be always there. It's endless, and the ripple effects will be endless beyond what we can perceive. So much gratitude. Thank you, Sandy, Sharon, and Becky. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this.
The legacy will go on for generations to come. Thanks to you all. Thank
All
you.
of us,
Thank you.
all of
Yes.
us. Thank you so
So
Can
much.
Becky,
hardly wait till that
I-
great grandbaby gets to read these books.
so I
Thank you all.
would like to turn this over to Becky, and Becky, I'd like you to share with us what this has been like for you.
Hmm. You know, I have probably the best kind of overall snapshot of what is really taking place behind the scenes. Number one, I get to see the chapters. Number two, before the rest of you get to see them, but I also get to interview by far the majority of the
Oh.
participants in the book. And there's something, is it a lot of work? Yes, it's a lot of work, but there's something magical about it because I get to see deeper into the depth of who that person, each person is. And I get to know you differently. I mean, I've never met you, Karen, but here we are, and I feel like I know you. You know,
Yeah.
and Vivian, you know, both of your chapters have just really touched deep. And there's that always, every time we talk, I want to talk to her more. We haven't had that opportunity yet, but that's the connection. But I feel a connection with each one. And today has been, while it gets very exhausting in the process of, you know, Sandy and I started at what, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock this
9 o'clock
morning.
this morning.
And
Yeah.
we're just going one after another with these interviews. And yet there's such a richness about it. There's such a wealth, and it feeds my soul. It feeds my soul. And this is a time where, you know, I have, this has been my busiest work year ever. I have worked harder than I've ever known how to work. I'm exhausted beyond belief. This is my last book launch of the year. And then I'll start back up in middle of January. And I am just relishing the fact that this is the last book, the last big project for the year, and that I do have that space now to just kind of, you know, just take my breath. But I feel honored to be able that I've been chosen to be the one that got to help put this together, got to work with this, got to work with Sandy and Sharon. And I've known Sandy for a lot of years, Sharon for less, but we have this amazing connection, you know, that we've been able to work very well together. And that's a blessing because I did a book launch this week with a book with 18 authors. The authors were spectacular. Their leader never once said a word to me the whole time. Never participated. He didn't even ask me for anything till yesterday after the launch and said, "Can I have a picture of the book cover?" and and you know, it felt like I was herding cats to the whole thing because there was nobody leading them other than me. And they weren't getting all the messaging that they were supposed to get because of that, you know. So I'm grateful for Sandy and Sharon, how organized they kept it, how they kept me out of, you know, a lot of the, while the manuscripts were being collected, they kept it in organization, and they each did their part and they had their role. And what a blessing. I'm truly blessed, and I count myself much richer as a result. And it's really kind of giving my whole, you know, myself, and knowing that I have this time for pause to just know that I can now soak it up. You know, I can just soak in all of this goodness and just relish it.
Thank you, Becky. We so appreciate you. Your expertise is beyond extraordinary. And the way that you've given it your stamp, your understanding, your professionalism, there's such confidence. And I know that that has a lot to do with the way that the authors came in. And the book is just stunning. And thank you. And the opportunities we had, I know for me, we talked about this in one of the calls, learning. We're always learning. And there's learning curves and there are opportunities. There's those silver linings. There's those places that helps us grow beyond ourselves. And to me, that's what adversity and challenges are. How do we look at this? And we smoothed it out together. We found a workaround, or we found this, or we just won't use that person anymore. Or we're going to, there were a lot of decisions through this. And it's been a process, but what you lent to it, what your vision is and what your abilities. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, just a blessing.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
all
so much.
seems, it just resonates with me so much. I truly am Karen, the caring connector. And I promise you, these are connections that matter. And when you make meaningful connections that matter, it's limitless on what we can achieve and do together. And any little hiccups are learning opportunities. That's all they are. They're little hiccups. In the big scheme of thing, it's nothing. Well, thank
At the time.
you. Thank you for everything.
Lady,
Thank you.
thank you so
all
much.
of you. All
Thank
of
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. And I know that Travis is not on. He was going to be on this call, Travis Sutton.
Yeah.
I hope when you read his chapter, it's absolutely the way that he evolved. And a lot of it, obviously, the chapters are about evolvement. So he would better represent it, but it's just so good to know that when you do read that, and I know you will. And another thing is that Barbara Palmer, one of our authors, she has not read the chapters, but she's gone on to the QR codes. And she has absolutely been astounded with these QR codes. She has just, it's just the neatest, the slickest thing, but she feels, that connection, because when you do that and you have that option to do that, and now she's backfilling, of course, with the chapters and reading them, but it's just all day. I guess I've been on about 4 of the calls, and then I've been the replays. And like we talked about, that perpetuity, Vivian, because they will live on. And even the talks that we have today, my heart's so full. Every one of you, those connections are such a beautiful blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Lady.
And Molly's
We've been quiet all day
And-
long.
And with
Your
that,
baby agrees.
and with that, we
They're,
ring off.
they're
Thank you,
saying
lady.
it's
Thank
time
you.
for dinner, and you've
It's
been
time.
making us be
Yeah.
quiet all day.
It's perfect. Thank you.
Much
thank you,
love to you, and for the
everybody.
Much
record,
love.
I'm in for volume 3, 4, and 5. So just so you know.
Yes, yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
absolutely.
Much love.
One more thing I wanted to say is one of the interviews from today, my brother, even though we have very distinctly different knowledge of each other, he's very different from me. Different, very staunch in his religious beliefs and all this other stuff. I'm going to still send him one of these videos. It's going to be just what he needs.
Well, it'll speak to
Wonderful.
him.
Yeah.
I love all of
Wonderful.
you. Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank you
Happy
so
birthday.
much.
Go
Thank
celebrate.
you.
Continue the
Thank you.
celebration.
That's
Thank you so
right.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye. Love you
Bye.
guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.